I want to say it's another day in the shop, but it is not. You guys can see we're in my house. I got a little problem. Most of you guys probably have kids, I'm guessing, as do I. I have 2 of them. They had a little accident the other day, so I'm working on fixing it and modifying my island here. So that's what happened. My kids were riding their hoverboards around here. They ran into each other and they punched a hole in my wall. So I had my kids help me. They did all the cutting, screwed everything in, and then I just mudded that. I don't know if you guys can see, this wall has this texture on it. I tried to do this in my basement. I'm not real great at it. I've done a lot of sheetrock work in the past, like hanging the rock and some tape and texture, but mainly flat walls or orange peel. I haven't done this texture. I've never done it. I tried it once, didn't work, and a buddy of mine that actually did most of the sheetrock in this house came and finished it and fixed it for me. But this right here, you guys, I taped, this hole was about the size of my daughter's heel. But I had to cut it out bigger because when she hit it, it actually blew the back of the sheetrock into my wall out. So I had to cut this hole. It's about that big. It's like, I don't know, 9 by 10, something like that. I put a new piece in there with some 2x4s, mudded over it. But what I'm doing, I'm gonna put beadboard over this. And my wife wants to paint the beadboard the color of our door. And I'm gonna run this molding around the edges. You guys can see my kids have beat this up pretty good. So I'm gonna be replacing some of this. I got this stuff here that I'm gonna run up this corner all the way to here. So I'm pulling this piece off, all the stuff on the bottom, because I'm replacing all of it because it's just beat to hell. Then it'll be beadboard on here that I'm gonna put on there. And then I got this other little piece here. This is just gonna cover the edges where I do my cuts on my beadboard. Because I don't have a table saw, you guys, so I'm gonna be using my skill saw to kind of fix it. So that'll be covering that up. Our house is a little bit of a mess at the moment. We still got Christmas stuff in here. But this is what color we're gonna paint that. This is like a, wow, that looks like the color of my bumper. It's actually like a teal color. So we're gonna paint all the beadboard that teal color, and then all the molding will be white. It'll be very similar to this, but on the back side of our island. So yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna be doing right there. So a little bit out of the shop stuff, you guys. It's still fabrication, so I'm gonna do this, and then I have one other project that I'll do hopefully later this weekend. We'll see if I get to it. I really hate painting, you guys. It's not one of my favorite things in the world to do, but I kind of need the beadboard painted before I can put all the molding, because I'm gonna cut this molding, I think, on my router with a notch, so my beadboard fits in behind it. So when I put this piece on, it comes over it like that and kind of laps it to hold this side down. I'm gonna probably glue this on with liquid nails, more than likely. Maybe use some staples, possibly. We'll see where I get. I kind of got an idea in my head, but I'm not 100% sure how everything's gonna work. You can see on my sheetrock, it has these rounded, like 1-inch radiuses on them. So it has to kind of come around it with the molding. So once I put this piece right here, I'll have to tie that back into here. I'm gonna replace this piece, you guys. It's beat up. All this is gonna get replaced. And then I'll have to figure out how to get my molding back on here. And not, because you can see that's damn near the same thickness. I don't want this molding sticking out any further than this piece. So I might have to notch that, or I might cut my beadboard to here. We'll see what I do. I'm like I said, I just got an idea. I don't have 100% idea how I'm gonna make it all happen at this time. Okay, guys, so I made a little bit of ways. I made it a little ways here. I think I kind of got an idea what I'm gonna do here. So this is what I got going on, you guys. So saw the patch hole. I cut my molding off and I added these. So I put these in here. These are 1.5 by 3/4. This was like 1/2 inch. So I'm hoping when I cut my board, oh my gosh, the dog hair is sticking to this stuff so bad. Our black lab, he's over there playing. His hair is just sticking to this white molding like crazy. It's like static cling. Anyways, so I cut my piece of molding off. I had to cut, obviously 1.5 inches off each end, plus a little bit, because I actually slid this molding in because I made these new pieces. So to go around these corners, you got to cut one side at 22.5. And since I'm going up against that 1.5 inches that's square, normally the normal piece would be 22.5, 22.5, 22.5 to make that 45-degree corner. But since I'm going to this square, this has got to be 22.5 on this side. This got to be 45. So that piece goes in like that, and it butts up next to this square piece of molding. You can see I really wanted this to be kind of recessed like that. It's going to be pretty hard to do because I'm going to put my panel behind here. There might be a little bit of step between here and here, which I actually wanted, but I don't know. Once I get that panel on there, on here, it may be a problem. It may push that out flush with here, which I'm not really opposed to. I'm mainly doing this because I don't want to deal with this texturing, and my wife wants a little bit of a feature wall, so that's kind of what we're doing. I did cut all 4 of these, you guys, so same thing up top. I had to sand on this one a little. It wasn't quite, my saw is not the greatest saw in the world, so it's a little off, but it'll go in there. That'll tie that corner back in. I'll caulk all the edges. That should be fine. I got all 4 of those done there and here. Also, there's another one. But I think what I'm going to try to go do now is cut this panel. Maybe I'll walk out there and show you guys the panel. The panel is 4 foot by 8 foot. So I need to cut it in the middle and turn it this way to line up. Then literally I'm going to use this piece right here, you guys. You can see that's pretty thin. What I'm hoping this is going to do, once I cut my panel, I know that panel is going to fray a little bit when I cut it. So I'm going to actually stick that right there so that it kind of covers the panel. I can't really hold this and show you guys real great. So I'm going to kind of do that number all the way around this. Then I'm going to probably do these, I don't know, there might be 2 more in here. So like 1 vertical there, 1 vertical here, to kind of make it look like actual paneling. Once I get the actual beadboard up, I'm going to have to, like I said, I'm going to have to cut that thing right down the middle and turn it. Let's walk out there. Maybe it'll make a little more sense when I show you. There's a black dog. What are you doing? I was throwing the ball for him. But I moved my saw into my little garage, you guys. I didn't want to walk as far. I got my little, so this is my little heater. It's a ventless heater. It heats this little garage really good because I actually, when I originally built this house, I insulated and sheeted my entire garage, including the ceiling. That little thing will smoke you out of here. The only problem with it is since it's ventless, there's no, like, it's ran by propane. Sometimes you get a little propane-y smell in here. But when I originally, before I had my shop out there, I built everything in here, you guys. This is 24 by 24. My Tundra barely fits in here. When I pull in, my Tundra bumps the stove and I can barely walk behind the truck. So it's just a small space, but man, I built a lot of like really cool stuff in here. So it goes to show you that you don't need a giant shop to build some cool stuff when it comes to fabrication. We're gonna tackle this too. You guys, look at this mess I got. My wife has a kiln and she wants to do some pottery stuff. She's got enough molds to fill damn near this whole wall. So she's gonna be out of town this weekend, and I think I'm gonna build all this shelving to hold all of her molds and get her kiln over here so she can kind of start doing this. And the good thing is, you guys, I want that kiln because I have 220 right over there. My air compressor used to sit right there, and I have another 220 plug right there. But I want that kiln in here for her mainly so she can start doing this pottery, but I can also use it to powder coat. So I'm gonna look at buying like the Harbor Freight powder coating thing, and I'm gonna use that kiln. So I'll be able to powder coat like small parts, I'm hoping. We'll see. She's got 2 kilns. One is iffy if it works, and the other one works for sure. So I'm gonna try to get that over here because I got a lot of parts on that beat that I'd like to powder coat. So that's future, but I am gonna try to build all these shelves this weekend because she's gonna be out of town. And I'm gonna try to get them done before she gets back. Her and Mary are going to Missoula to do some bridal stuff because Dylan and Mary are engaged and gonna be getting married soon. So yeah, so they're gonna go do that. We're gonna go out to the big shop here. So here's my paneling, you guys. This is what I'm gonna put in there. It's like a beadboard, but you can see the beads are running this way in the 8-foot direction. So I need to chop this in the middle and turn everything. Because I want the beads going this way. So that's kind of what we're going to work on. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to cut this where it won't fray super bad. I may have to tape this and scribe it with a knife because I'm gonna use my skill saw to cut it, and it's a piece of junk. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to unbury it. It's down in there. But we're gonna get that thing chopped in half. We'll turn it sideways, and then, excuse me, where these seams come together, we'll use that 1.5 inch, like by 1/8 or 1/4 maybe, I think it is, to cover that seam and to kind of give us our paneling, well, it'll be going this way, our paneling kind of look that I'm going for. But yeah, I gotta paint that, and I hate painting, you guys. Gosh, I hate it. It's just not one of my favorite things to do, but that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go get some dimensions. I actually bought 2 of these originally because I thought that island was 9 feet. It's only 7, so I only needed 1. So I'm gonna take one of these back today too. Hopefully get my money back. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm going, you guys. We're gonna get that done here. I got my man basket guy. He's gonna come pick this up hopefully today. He said he was gonna come by later today. So I'm actually gonna run to town. I'm gonna buy an air compressor because you guys know my air compressor's in that corner, and it's a ways from my house. So this is walking towards my little house, or my little garage, sorry, towards my house. I don't think there's any way I can get my air line from there all the way into here. Sorry about the laundry. I was working on laundry today, so I got to make it all the way to here to nail this stuff up. I could nail this in by hand, you guys, but I literally need a small air compressor in this little garage, just for airing up tires and bike tires and stuff for my kids. And yeah, I just need a little air compressor in here. So Home Depot's got a small one I'm gonna go buy today, from a little bit of that money that the man basket brought in. It's like a 6-gallon rigid, like little pancake compressor, which will be perfect in here. It'll run all my nail guns and anything I need to do in there. And it's portable, so I can plug it into 110 and do whatever. So I think I'm gonna go buy that today, so we have it. I don't know if you guys can see outside, but it looks pretty nice out there. You can see the ski hill way over there. It snowed just a skiff today, not much. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get that, wow, sorry guys. I'm gonna go get that panel cut down to size, hopefully without totally shredding it with my skill saw. But what does kind of splinter, that small piece will cover it. I'm hoping. We'll see. That's what I'm aiming for, is that this stuff will cover it right here. It's pretty small, thin stuff. It's like 1/4 by 1 inch. That should cover the edges because I'm going to run it right around there. And this, I actually did get this piece cut down too, you guys. So that goes up top. Wow. So that covers up there. And then I'll have that 1 inch piece right below here to cover any cut marks that I have, and same along the edge over here. So should turn out pretty good. Pretty simple project. It just needed to get done because I didn't want to see that anymore. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna get that panel cut. I'll show you guys. I'm just gonna I think it's called liquid nails, glue this panel essentially on here, and I'll probably put some staples in it. Maybe along the edges. I may finish nail it out here because that 1 inch piece is going to cover the nails there. So, and wherever I have my vertical uprights going, because I am going to probably go buy some more of this stuff to use as kind of vertical pieces going that way, just to give it some character, some texture, something different. It's going to be, like I said, it's a feature wall that on our island. So that's kind of where we're heading. I'll show you when I get the panel cut and get it mounted. I think I'm going to run to town first and go buy that air compressor. I got a whole list of stuff I need to do right here. And I need to get it done before the guy comes and picks up that man basket today. So, because he did pay for it, and he's kind of thinking he's got another contractor that wants to get another basket built. So I'm hoping that goes through, because that was a pretty good project for me. Pretty simple, straightforward, and it paid. So I'm hoping that comes through too, so that'll allow me to work on that beep a little bit more, and maybe do this other project that I got in the little garage for all that shelving stuff. So we're making a little way on this island here. So I got the color on it, or started getting, I got the first coat on this paint. Kind of as you paint it, it almost kind of peels back off. It's just, I don't know, something about this paint, it's always kind of been this way. but I did mask everything off with some green frog tape, painted it. First coat, I'm gonna have to do multiple coats to get this to actually fully cover. You can kind of see the white through the paint still, so it's gonna take quite a few coats. But I don't know if I showed you guys this. This is all my trim. So that essentially is gonna picture frame this. It's gonna come up and around this entire island. And then there's a strip in the middle that covers the seam, and then two more so it looks like paneling. All that's gonna stay white. All my trim around the outside is gonna stay white. I still gotta come back through and fill all my caulking holes. Or, not my caulking holes, my nail holes with caulking, and then I'll repaint this white. Some of it's this main piece down here, a little beat up from my kids and their hoverboards. So I didn't want to buy that piece. I was gonna originally replace it. I decided not to. So you can see, you guys, I'm on my cord to my GoPro, so it's not working real well, but it's a pretty big contrast. Definitely going to be a feature wall in our house. Hopefully my wife loves it. She picked the color. She loves this color, so that's what we're doing. So once I get all my paint on here, I'll show you guys this and my molding here installed over there. This will literally cover the edges of this, so you guys can see I didn't paint all the way to the edge. That's because these pieces are going to come in and they're going to cover the very edges of this right in there. So you can kind of see how that'll be picture framed. It'll be kind of stepped down, and it'll be all the way across, all the way around this thing right in there. So I'll show you when I make it that far though. We got a little ways to go still. Lots of coats of paint. I got the fan on it trying to get it to dry so it'll actually stick a little better. So I'll show you guys when I get to the molding part of this. All right, you guys, I got this thing all painted. I got the molding up. Kind of show you what I did. So this, man, this is actually teal, you guys. It looks like navy blue in my camera. Hopefully it's not like that on YouTube, but it is like a teal color. I love the teal color next to my dark cabinets. It looks awesome. But you can see I got this. I got this is like quarter by one. And this is like half by 1.5. So it just kind of stair steps down just a little bit. It comes up, then I 45'd all the corners. Put my other piece back up there. And then what I do, you guys, they make like putty that you can fill all your holes with. I literally use this stuff. It's just caulk. It's just white caulk. And what I like about it is you can just put it in there and just wet rag right over the top, and it gets any of the excess off. Oh, I missed some right there. Hey, black dog, knock it off. So yeah, I gotta come back through. I gotta paint this. I gotta get some white paint and repaint my molding down there. But other than that, you guys, it turned out pretty cool. I like it. Excuse my mess up here. I got all sorts of tools and stuff up there. Yeah, it looks good, you guys. It really finished this off, just added some character to our island. Yeah, this was a little hard to nail through because it's so thin. I literally, on my gun, it has an adjustment of the depth, how far the nail shoots in. When you're going through this bigger stuff, I had to have it set a little deeper so it actually drives the nail through that thicker stuff. But when I got through there, it was blowing right through it, so I had to back it almost completely off. To get it to actually hold that up there. Yeah, it looks good, you guys. I will show you. I gotta show you. Hey, get out of the way, dog. I bought this air compressor the other day. Yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. There's no sponsorship or anything here, you guys. I just bought this because I needed it, because, you know, my shop is cut away from my house and I have no air in my house. So I bought this for the little garage so that we have it. And it works very well for running my little nail guns. It's like 130 psi, 6 gallon. You can tell I already tipped it over and scratched it. Yeah, it works very well. I bought the hose from Harbor Freight. You guys, if you guys are into these hoses, are awesome. You know, a lot of stuff from Harbor Freight, it's not really that great all the time. These hoses are sweet though, and they're cheap. Yeah, they're like this is a 3/8 and it's really rubberized, so like a lot of that stuff, it'll crack, and you know, over time. I've had one on my other hose for about 5 years now, and it still looks about brand new. Just a little dirty from being kicked around on my shop floor. But if you guys want a good hose, I really like these things. Merlin. They're pretty good hoses. They got these little covers on the end, just cover up the end of the hose. Really good hose though. I like them just because they're rubberized and they're really easy to roll up. Like right now it looks like it's in a ball, but they have a tendency to wind right back up like real easy. So that's kind of why I got it. That's I bought a 100 footer. That's a 100 footer. No, that's a 50 footer, I think. I bought a 50 and a 25 yesterday, I think is what I bought. I bought 2 of them. Yeah, so I got a 50 footer right there, and I got a 25 footer somewhere too. Yeah, good hoses. So I got the 25 footer from my other shop because I have a 50 footer on there, and it almost reaches to every corner of my shop. With the extra 25 feet, it'll allow me to get to the far corner from this corner all the way over in my shop. So yeah, we'll leave the 50 footer in here. I'm gonna find a home for that. We're gonna find homes for this. We're gonna work on this next, you guys. My wife just left to Missoula, so I'm hoping I can get enough shelves built here for all of her molds for her kiln, because I want the kiln so I can powder coat. I'm leaning towards getting some powder coating and stuff going too. Small stuff. This kiln's not really big. It's about the size of that garbage can right there. Maybe, no, it's a little bit bigger diameter, but about the same height. So this is what we're going to be tackling next. You guys will see us on the next video. I'm not going to probably work on the beep this weekend. I think I need a break from it for the moment. So we're going to start tearing into this next.